Well, as you get ready to take your planes in the vehicle, you might be thinking about how to keep them to stay put. And so I've come up with a few little ideas here, as in wheel chocks. So you can see them on all of the planes there. Just a simple piece of plywood with a couple of other bits of wood on top. And on some of them I've actually put Velcro underneath just in case I want it to stick to the fuzz on the carpet. So there you go. I might mention that the other thing that I do in addition to the wheel chocks is since there's no battery in the plane, put a towel over the end of it just to keep the nose down, and on the tail dragger a little bit of a towel on it to keep the tail down. Okay, so how did we go with our transporting? Well, it appears that we need to strap on the wheel chocks if they're going to do much good. It seems to have been that they bounce around a bit. So, plan B. Okay, so we've been working on some chocks for transporting our airplane in the car. Just because we can. You know, putting a towel around it and doing the things like I used to do, yeah, sure, that works. You know, I used to jam towels behind the wheels here, and jam towels in front of it, and put something on top of it, and basically have it encased in towels and everything is fine. But hey, I like to try and do things in different things. So I tried these chocks, but the problem was that with some of them, they're sliding around in the car. And then worse than that, the plane is bouncing around. I've got rather stiff suspension in my SUV. So the plane is bouncing around, and so that's a problem. So, Mark II. This is what we have decided to do. Okay, we've got our same chock as what we had before as far as the wood is concerned, but we've added these two wire bits to it. So we've got two bits of wire stuck into holes on each side, so they just go a short distance into each of those holes, allowing the wire to swing back and forth. Got a rubber band that's just sitting there at the moment underneath. So as I take it and as I put it on the wheel, get it on there like so, I can then fold up the wire, bring up the rubber bands, and apologies for my arm being in the way. That way we bring up the rubber band, and that's holding that in there nice and securely. No way that that's going to come out of that. If it's Velcroed down, I think that's going to do a pretty good job. So hey, isn't that cool? And so here we go. We've got them all in place. And the neat thing about it is that when we go to hang our plane up, this is my rod that I use to support it, I'm going to just leave those guys right on there, and it'll be all set to stick in the car. Now, if you got 101 planes, I'm sure you don't want to make 101 chocks for them, but for me, that's going to work out great. And there she is, all set to go for when we take her out to the car for the next go-round. Well, here we are with the planes in the car with our new modified wheel chocks in place. You can do all you want to try and lift that up, and it's Velcroed. Well, I guess you can still pull it up, but it's pretty hard to pull it up. I think when they bounce around, they are going to stay put. I've got them also on the P51 up there. I've just done the main gear on those, just weighting down the tail on that one. But I think these things are going to do just fine with regard to traveling around in the car, and we'll find out in the morning. Success! Here we are at the field, and guess what? There's the plane sitting there nicely, all with the Velcroed chocks in place, and the same is true with the P51 up there. All as it ought to be. So, I'm liking that solution. Okay, so I've arrived back from the field. As you can see, the planes are very intact, but had to pull out rather quickly in one spot, so my boxes fell around, so I need to come up with a way of securing those. But yeah, plane's beautiful. And one thing that I noticed with the planes is that, of course, when you get there, you just take the rubber bands down. And fold down the things so you can get your plane out. So you take it out, but when you get ready to go back home again, those things are already in place. So you just bring it in here, set it in place, flop the things up, put the rubber bands up, and you're all set to go. So boy, is that handy. So we'll just have to work on the boxes.